Microphone check, microphone check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Final microphone check. We'll have players up shortly. Microphone check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What?
Let's go. It was a gritty game back and forth. Our chance was coming down in the fourth quarter at the end and then going into overtime.
It was a great team win. Like you said, it was a great game. It came down. We had to go to overtime, and thankful that we came out with the win. Defense got a big stop, and all we had to do was close it out.
What did you feel at the end there? You were down for a little bit in the regulation, but are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. It was just my back, but other than that, I'm good. If I wasn't good, I would never came back in the game. But and then how the game was going, it was mandatory. I came back in. Just know that I see like my teammates out there fighting, and I wanted to be a part of it.
What did you think once Jack Jones came up well with that interception? You guys were on the field goal?
I mean, he made great plays. Like you said, Jack is one of the key players on defense, and him showing up in that big moment just shows what type of team it is, and for us to go and close it out, I feel like when we play commitment football and the results show.
First, one game, 2-game win streak for you guys this season.
Like I said, man, win and lose. Like I said, we gotta come out with the mentality that like we're gonna play 100%, no matter what our record is, who we playing. If we lost last week, we won last week. We just gotta have that same mentality. And like I said, when we no matter who we playing against, when we stand ahead of the sticks, when we don't have those little issues, those little mistakes, we can compete with anybody.
And another 150 plus all-purpose game for you. Can you just touch on how the game is going down for you early on in your career?
Like I said, it's not a lot. Like I said, the reps I'm getting with my offense, the O-line, and the blocking on the edge, and it just makes it easier for me. I don't got to do too much. Just make a couple guys miss, but that's my job. And when we all working together, I feel like it's very slow for me. I feel like it's a perfect time for us, to get our bodies right and make sure when we come back that we're not slacking, and make sure we stay, like you said, with the same momentum. And us having a bye week, coming from out here, it's a great perfect time for us. If you got those lingering injuries, to get right.
What you think of the atmosphere, first game in Spain, and how the fans were receptive to different plays?
It was amazing, man. It was exciting, just being out here. We was out here for like a week or so, and just the fans out here, they was amazing. And like you said, they was interacting with us and the other team, and it was a great feeling to be out here and playing in front of them.
How happy were you receiving all the boards in the end zone out here?
I'm very happy for him. Like you said, he stepped up and we needed him, and he made a play. And like you said, I see him, putting the work in week out at practice. So when we come to the game, I know what he's gonna do. What'd you say?
Last week you had a big win against national team. Now an international win. This is the perfect time to reset the season for the team.
Yeah, like you said, it don't matter where we play at, international, at home, away. I just feel like we just got to come to play. Once we like all special teams, defense, offense, once we all on one accord, I mean, we can come out and play against whoever.
With Daniel Brunskill plays when he comes in this offensive lineman, what has that done to your offense, considering you guys are used to playing?
It's been big for us. Like you said, it's just a mentality thing when you come in. Obviously, teams know when he come in, like, we're running the ball. And, I mean, as you see when he came in, we positive yards every time. And And I feel like, something that we just going to keep doing until, somebody stops it. It was amazing experience. Just, this is different than where we come from. And, coming out here, just seeing the people and, the places. And, it was fun. It's something, this very something, that you can go home and, talk about. I'm feeling good, man. Like you said, we wanted to come out here and play a great game for the fans, and I feel like we did that. Both teams, like it wasn't like a blowout. It was a very close game to the end, and I feel like that's what the fans needed to see. Playlist, Young Boy and Raw Wave.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
You have Jack Jones here.
What's up? How everybody doing? It's good. I'm good, man.
What was that? Have you ever put your team in a position like that before? Seeing an overtime win?
Happy for the win. Actually, I seen a tight end. He chipped. Once he chipped, he tried to, sneak across the formation. I had good eyes, and that's what Coach Rube been hitting on us about all year, and really me specifically, because I'm an aggressive corner, and my eyes could be my weak spot. So he was just hitting on me, good eyes, good eyes, good eyes. I seen the tight end chip, had good eyes. He tried to go across the formation. I just went to steal. Absolutely not, man. Actually this year I've been feeling like I've been trying to tone down my aggression. And just play to the system and do my job, and don't try to do nothing more, because plays is gonna come to me. You know what I'm saying? So just make the plays that come to me and don't try to overreach. Man, I'm truly blessed to be here, man. If the type of offseason I was going through just this past offseason, I didn't know if I was going to be on the team or not. So, just being here, rather if it was plays made or no plays made, I'm blessed and I'm happy, and I thank Coach and I thank Ross for, giving me this opportunity, man. But, I'm happy about everything.
So Tua said that you would make an incredible soccer player because you're really good to defend and be on the man.
Yeah.
How did it feel to actually play in a soccer stadium tonight?
It felt really good. After the interception, I did the suit. You seen that? Yeah. Yeah, I had to bring that out. I was talking to my friend. I'm like, when I make a play, that be ready for that celebration. I'm gonna bring that out, But it was good atmosphere. The fans, I felt like they was into the game and they was loud all game, and they actually got a good game with overtime, so it made it even better. I think the rookies actually been stepping up big time. I just was talking to Trader this past weekend, for a rookie, man, you playing a lot of plays and you actually doing well, So I think it's a lot of rookies on this team that stepped up. Everybody knows we're a young team, but the rookies are stepping up, and I think, they're going to get greater later.
What kind of momentum can build now after the win against Buffalo and this win in the fashion?
I think this was a good team win, man. If you was on the field, you just felt it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was hanging their heads, off of bad plays or bad drives, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So everybody just came back, got regrouped, and went out there and just was dominating as a team. And I think if we just carry that week in and week out, we're really hard to beat because we're a good team.
How did the atmosphere today compare to this game where at Hard Rock Stadium?
That's tough, man. I think we have a tough crowd at Hard Rock, but also at the same time, I can't just point the finger at them. We haven't been playing too good at home, so we got to go home and win games to, make it more enjoyable for them and us. But this energy out here was electric.
Yeah, but it's really differently this week to get a win this week against the Western Commanders.
I think it's more so the swag, man, the swag that we come out with. If we all play with that swag and just effort mentality, then we'll be all right. Because like I said, man, we're a good team and we got good coaches, so we just got to go out there and execute.
Jefferson be better than Flax.
Flight home.
Thank you, Jack.
All right, thank you guys.
We've got Bradley Chubb here for you.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Yeah, there we go. Hey, see.
This game was one of those back and forth, and you knew something great was going to happen. You let the two in the final quarter. You got the up front, the bottom recovered, and then you got Jack Jones interception. How did it feel when you were able to do that and break that game open?
It feels great, man, because that's that complementary football we keep talking about. You know what I mean? It feels great to when one phase, is down, the next phase just picks it up for them. You know what I mean? And that's what we've been looking for all season. We've been finding that groove these past couple weeks, and it's just about maintaining it.
What about your thoughts on the decision to go for it fourth down rather than take a field goal and then try to take it in overtime?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I like the aggressiveness. I like the aggressive mentality, and Mike believed in us. That's why he went like that, and we stood up. You know what I mean? The defense we had one play that it might have looked ugly, but at the end of the day, we stood up and did what we were supposed to do. So got the ball back to the offense, got into overtime, and they took care of the rest. One more time, I can't hear you. Yeah, we saw it. We had to, because guys are hyped, guys want to celebrate the win, but you got to make sure you win it first. So we calmed it down, all gathered around each other, watched the offense finish the drive, and watched Riley put it in. I was looking at Mariota like this, and I just heard the crowd go crazy. I looked up, everybody running with Jack, and that's how I knew he made a big play. Man, that's what it's all about, man. Just guys staying together. Like over the rough times we had this season, guys just kept it all together, kept it because we knew it was going to break for us at one point. And we're seeing the fruits of our labor right now. Nowhere near where we want to be, but at the end of the day, man, it's been good to see the success. Good to see what sticking together does. Going out to dinner on Thursdays, it's good to see what that does. You know what I mean? And believing in the guy next to you, and that's all that is. It was beautiful, man. It was an amazing time. Anytime you got a chance to get out the country and expand the game, and it's the first game out here in Madrid, it's been amazing. Just the culture, the food, the paellas that we had, everything's been amazing. So I'm looking forward to this in the future if we could do this again.
Bradley, so you're clearly fluent in Spanish because you came in with what would you say to your Spanish community of fans that came here today to support you?
Te amo. Me llamo.
Te amo.
Te llamo, yeah.
Two more questions.
Getting those goal line stops, it's something you enjoy to stay with, like second quarterback.
Yeah, they all count the same, man. Of course, selfishly, the sack feels better, but the goal line stop feels great because it's the whole team, man. Everybody's hyped. When you get the sack, you put it in your back pocket, but those fourth down goal line stops, man, that's what changes games, and that's what we had a couple of those today, so it was great to see.
Can you touch on the preparation that differed from Frankfurt compared to Madrid, which resulted in a different outcome?
I feel like the main preparation, bro, is making sure our feet were good. Our feet were in the right, in the right cleats. I feel like in that Frankfurt game, we had early off in the first half, we were slipping and sliding around, missing big plays because we were on the ground. And it was a point of emphasis. When you play on the soccer field, it's just a different type of, different texture of grass. So, we locked in on that and just, prepared like we know how to.
Thank you, Bradley.
Appreciate it.
Got quarterback Tristan Bell.
How we doing, guys? Feels great. First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for this platform, for this opportunity, for that game that we were able to play. We don't take this game for granted as football players, having families, wives, people traveling from the States to come here. It's a great opportunity, great chance for us to play this sport. And it was really cool that we got to go out there, play in front of fans that have traveled with us, and then, new fans as well that were out here in Spain. But to answer your question, it was just a collective team win. It took offense, took defense, and it also took special teams. And we fed off each other. When defense gave us a stop, we turned it into points, and then vice versa. If we got stopped, defense would go back and forth with that. So that's how I answer that. As I said, great team victory. All wins are good, and we're going to carry this momentum along throughout the bye week and hopefully take it into our next game. It was cool. I was looking at the Jumbotron from where I was sitting. First play of overtime, you never, you're trying to look at everything while also trying to focus on what you're doing. So you never try to relax, but seeing it on the Jumbotron, he got the interception. I think they were trying to stack the box, just go man outside with our receivers, try to stack the box and try to, compress everything, force it outside. But we had a great one with Ali, and, props to the guys up front, and then Ali finishing the job with that.
We've been seeing a lot of teams come to international just a couple of days before the match was going to happen. How do you feel it has been different for you to have come here for almost a week to spend time here training and getting ready for the match?
I think the biggest thing would be the time difference, trying to get our bodies adjusted to the sleep schedule. A lot of the times we were meeting, it was like 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock in the morning back home in Miami. So I think that was the biggest adjustment. Sorry, say that again? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say different with the fans there. I'm not too sure how much knowledge, when we played in Frankfurt, how much knowledge, those people knew about football versus here. But I think it was just as electric as it was there as it is here. And, I think we're very grateful to have been able to play the first game out here in Spain. Yeah, I got a chance to speak to him after the game. I think it was more after I told him, great job, great seeing him, more of things he wanted to share with me that I really appreciated, that I won't share here. But it was more things that he shared with me that I took and I really appreciated.
What do you think in terms of momentum that can be built off of these 2 consecutive weeks?
Yeah, I would say we're going to enjoy this win. We're going to get back in, to Miami. We're going to get back into the building. We're going to look at things that we need to clean up. We're going to have our meetings and whatnot, see and figure out how we can continue to keep the momentum going through the bye week, and then whatever the following week would be, whoever we would play. Hawaii. So the United States again, but just go play in Hawaii. I think that'd be pretty cool. But in Europe, shoot, it'd be pretty cool to go play in Jerusalem. I don't know. That'd be sick. I didn't have any family watching this at 4 in the morning. Yeah, I think a lot of the guys on the team would love to continue playing, given the momentum that we have, the momentum that we've built collectively in all 3 phases. But it is what it is. We're going to go through our bye week, but that's not without talking about how we can continue to stay on that momentum train following the next game week. Yeah, I don't look at it as me winning or someone losing. I think this was most definitely a team victory. It was the Miami Dolphins that won the game. So I'm just blessed that I got to come out here, experience some food, experience the culture out here for a little bit, go walking, getting to see the city a little bit. But yeah, I would say this was just a Miami Dolphins Fins win, and it was good to get a win. Pardon?
You got a superstar in Miami, it's Leo Messi. Do you know him, and would you like to play Barcelona next time with the Dolphins? Or?
Sure, I think everyone knows him. Everyone,
You know him personally?
I don't know him personally. I don't know him personally.
Would you like to play Barcelona the next international game?
Yeah, I'm up for anything. I like to go and experience the cultures, different cultures, foods, and whatnot. So I think that'd be cool.
Last question.
What do you think about the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium? This is a brand new stadium. But do you think it's an NFL caliber stadium? What do you think about it?
I think it was a really good stadium. A lot of guys compared it to Jerry Jones, like Jerry's World. I've never played there, so I wouldn't know too much about that. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Chargers, kind of the Chargers Stadium and the Rams Stadium back in the U.S. So that's what I would say. All right, thanks, guys.
We've got linebacker Jordan Brooks here for you.
I don't know. I probably won't find out till about Tuesday, honestly. But to be honest with you, great play. Literally, I think the timeout beforehand, or maybe a play beforehand, he told me he was going to do it, and he did it. So that made that moment a lot more cooler. He's spoken it into existence, won the game for us.
Can you touch on the preparation that you all had this week, leading up to the first win, 2-game issue for the season for you all?
Yeah, it was tough. The field we were practicing on, it wasn't a great field. A lot of slipping going on. And it was tough catching up on sleep, trying to stay focused with all the distraction going on in Spain. But we persevered as a team and got ourselves prepared the best way we could. And I think it paid off today.
You said that Jack called it before he actually made the play. Did he call an interception, a takeaway, or just a big play?
His exact words, he said, y'all stop the run. He going to throw me the ball because he can't throw. So that's what he said. And that's what happened. Appreciate you. Man, I'm just playing football. I'm never going into a game thinking about a career high. Just trying to do my best, do my part. My game wasn't perfect, but try to make sure my effort is always there. And I think it's just a testament to the effort put in.
What do you think about what these fans did?
They were great. They were loud. From the minute we ran out there all the way through the last snap of the game. So I appreciate them showing up and supporting us today.
We saw you as well as the tackles today, kind of delaying blitzes, doing some fun stuff in anti-Weaver system. Tell us a bit about play for Coach Weaver and what that system's like to play.
Yeah, Coach Weave is the defensive coordinator you want to play for. Just the type of man he is. His presence kind of demands respect. It's easy to play for him. And then the system that he has behind us when we're rolling and we're clicking the way that we should, it's a great system. And so I'm fortunate to be in it and to be playing under him.
How important was the goal line stop to go out the next series?
Say that one more time.
How important was the goal line stop to go out the next series and keep doing your thing?
Yeah, I mean, you got to play the next series no matter what. Whether we score, we don't score, whether we give up a play or whatever it is, we got to continue to do our job. And so if something bad happens, we got to shake it off and have short-term memory and keep playing.
Last week, you
Say that one more time. Our run defense, you saying? What was the secret behind it?
Last week you stopped the Buffalo run game. Today the Washington run game. The running back comes the Mariota crumble. What's the secret behind it?
Yeah. I'm not sure what you're saying, honestly. Okay. Yeah. That's just the number one emphasis for us as a defense is to stop the run. We feel like if we can stop the run and make them one-dimensional, we got the best chance of winning. I don't think we were great today. We could have done a lot better. We got to go back and watch the tape and see where we can be better. I know Mariota got out a couple times today. Running backs got out a couple times. But we got a bye week, clean all that stuff up, and get back to it.
Last question. All right. Thank you, Jordan.
Appreciate it.
We've got running back Ollie Gordon second here for you.
Hello.
Hey, Ollie, congrats on the win. How good did it feel to scoring a touchdown, international game, team win?
I would just say, like Tubb said earlier, we played a great complimentary football. You know, defense had our back, special teams had our back. And I feel like offense, O-line was on their job today. You know, they did great. They had a hat on the hat for everybody. And, you know, one always going to lead us in the right way. So shout out to her for that. So I feel like as a team, we all played great together. I would say it got loud in there. You know, I wasn't expecting to get that loud. You know, I feel like a bunch of fans travel well. You know, I seen a bunch of Miami jerseys in the stands, so that's a good thing always. You know, I feel like the atmosphere was good. You know, just having it loud in there. I mean, it's always loud at games, but I feel like here it was different.
Ollie, hearing on the McDaniel talks about the team were what we reckon suggest they are. In the last 4 games, you know, beat Falcons, Bills, then today, 3 of the last 4 games you won. I mean, does that sort of prove that you guys are, you know, as good as you guys feel you are in the locker room?
You know, I feel like as long as we just stick together and be ourselves, everything will be fine. Don't listen to the critics, don't listen to the outside noise, and as long as we keep building bonds with each other, we'll be fine, continuing forward, and just know we lean on each other and not anybody else, and we'll be good.
Can you touch on the preparation that you all had for this week leading up to the game, which ended up
I would just say, you know, week trips are always crazy. I feel like you got to delete the distractions and be able to connect as one. So, you know, it was a bunch of guys around the hotel, you know, hanging out, talking, everybody going over everything. We had meetings and stuff like that. So I feel like we stayed connected as a unit, and that was the best part about it. You know, we didn't let anything distract us, and we continued going forward.
2 more questions.
seems like you're coming into your own right now. Can you touch on how you feel your progression has been this season so far?
Like I said before, I feel like it's great, honestly, just because the people we have in the room and the vets we have on the team and the coaches we have, you know. Just our coaches being able to trust me with certain things to do, I feel like that's huge, and my vets helping me out and, you know, teaching me the ways of the league. And I feel like with those 2 things, you can't go wrong with it. What's up, Coach?
Talk a little bit about how well you're coached.
You know, I would say that I feel like I'm coached well, you know. Might be a little bumps in the road, but I feel like but, you know, I feel like I talk to y'all about anything, come mess with y'all. So I feel like everything cool with us. We good.
Thank you, Ollie. Mike.
Hello. Hola.
How does it feel to win in Madrid for the first game of the NFL year?
Well, it was a privilege to be here in the first place. What an incredible city. I was finally able to get out into the city a little bit on Friday and just overwhelmed with the culture. You know, I've never been in a city this big and this clean before. And you want to talk about some good bread. Anywhere I go, there's awesome bread. So, but to play here, to be the inaugural game was a privilege, and we really wanted to, you know, bring it home with a win. So it was a very good team win that we felt honored to be here and glad we came up with a W.
Mike, what was your thought process going for it instead of taking the points in that situation before?
Well, I definitely thought You don't make that decision unless, I thought the play was going to work and it didn't. But looking at it was about 147 or something, with no timeouts, a field goal gives them the ball back. Their special teams is very adept at getting the ball between the 30 and 40, which would leave about 25 yards for a tying field goal, as opposed to going 60 yards when they're backed up. And so those are the type of situations that you try to do the best thing with the recourse of failure. And that was an example of defense stepping up. They held when it was most critical, and to get it 3 phases, a complementary football game where we got takeaways in 2 phases and didn't turn the ball over. It was an important win for our team. But yeah, I definitely would have made that call if I thought it was going to fail. But you also make that decision based upon the recourse if it doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, I think we've had a collective of a locker room and a coaching staff that have been focused on getting our game right, and we know there's a lot of people that weren't forecasting our success, and you'd be lying if you didn't use that as motivation for sure. But I think the biggest thing is in the National Football League over my entire career, I know one thing: if you're able to improve without results and you stay together as a team, that the strength that you gain from the hardships it can be tough for other teams to deal with at the end of the season. So we knew that if we stayed together, we felt like our football would get right. We lost 4 games by 1 score, I think, or one of them was a late field goal. So basically 4 of them we were in contention in the last couple minutes. And you take those L's, you don't quit, and there's positive stuff on the end of the horizon for you generally. So we got two wins in a bye week. We need to rest our bodies, and then we have to get to work on the next opponent if we want to have a similar result, because it was a well-fought win that was well prepared by our coaching staff and our players. So.
A dramatic victory in overtime here in the first NFL International game in Madrid. What was your message to the offense as they were going back out in the field after getting the takeaway on the Commanders?
My message, in situations with a sudden change like that, you don't really always have time to talk to the guys, but they know through experience with me that I speak to them through play calls and play selection. So, felt really good the whole game about how our line of scrimmage was going. Felt really good about Devon and Ollie and Jalen running the ball. So, I think they took matters in their own hands. We had, however many yards it was, might have been 20, 25 on the ground to seal the game, and they take pride in that. We know as a group, it is a privilege to have the ability to run the ball to win the game. That takes a collective team effort. That you're in a situation where you can do that, and then typically in offensive football, that is your favorite way to win, is being able to hand the ball off to block people, inflict your will, and then get points to close the game. So it was an important thing that we hadn't been able to do thus far this season as a team. So it was good to get that done and in an exciting format for sure. It was way more exciting than I'd prefer it. But it was good to get a W in a close overtime game. Yes, I don't know who I'm answering. No, I think that's a very common from a coach's perspective. You string together any positive football before the bye week. It would be awesome to continue to play. However, you know that when you have a bye week at how many games in are we? 11. It's usually very much needed. I think we have some guys on schedule to potentially return, and I think you build momentum into the bye week, and you have some guys return, and I think that momentum is felt throughout the team, and so there is a positive spin in terms of we do need the rest. We have guys like our captain Jordan Brooks, who just peeled off 20 tackles, that needs to get an ice bath for sure. And I think we'll use that time accordingly. But the way that guys have prepared the last 2 weeks, I'm not really nervous. They've really, to the letter of the law, taken everything that they can control, and which is why we've kind of had a couple games in a row now that we feel a lot better about.
Mike, can you take us through what you saw on the interception and what it must mean to Jack, who was out here earlier, and he kind of reflected back to the fact that he didn't even know if he was going to be on the team this year, and now he comes all the way across the other side of the world and makes a big play.
You know, there's all sorts of stories like that littered among NFL team. That one's pretty special because, you know, he's had some adversity and had an opportunity here. And, you know, we talked about it right when he came in. He came, hugged me, and thanked me, and I thanked him because you can't change the past, but you can recognize an opportunity, one that it was his to take on, but the recourse of failure was probably the end of his career, and he knew that. So, you know, I think guys galvanize around him. He plays the style of ball we really are fond of. He's very convicted. I saw him that last interception. You know, we talk about it as a team a ton, but we're not searching for perfection. We're not searching to be perfect. We're searching for conviction. And he saw the ball out, took an aggressive angle, was very convicted, and then utilized one of the strengths of his game, which is plays on the ball. He had a forced fumble last week that was monumental in our win, and got his hands on the football again, this time with an interception. So he's really doing a great job taking advantage of the opportunity, and there's a, you know, walking into the locker room, I think he really appreciated the team chanting or doing a Jack Jones song, considering, you know, it was fresh on his mind how far he'd come, and you know, we all can appreciate that. Yeah, you really willed that one.
How much team building is there to gain from coming all the way out here and having it culminate in an overtime failure?
Yeah, it's a big deal. You know, I think our team has done a great job of working through adversity, but there comes a point where, you know, you have to push that into success, or, you know, you can't really control or forecast the way guys are going to keep taking their lumps. So, you know, I think it's incredibly empowering to a locker room of guys that have had to stand on their own and believe in themselves while a lot of people didn't. So, you know, you take that to a team flight that should have some energy in it, and then you go back to work and I think guys are going to be very excited to do so. They've fought for belief, and now they've been awarded real belief based on performance and results. So I think we'll be excited to play our next game. We need the time off. We definitely wish we could play. Our locker room probably want to play tomorrow, even though they're a little beat up. But we'll take the rest and get back to preparing our style of football so that we can continue to have products like this on Sunday.
Orlando, 3 wins out of the last 4 games. What are a couple of things you can pinpoint that have really clicked to finally have the Dolphins win games like this?
Well, I think we didn't turn the ball over today. I think we're +2. That's gigantic. We were +1 last week, and although we turned the ball over twice, we got 3 takeaways. So that's been a big deal. I think some of the success that we've had the last couple of weeks defending the run gave us perseverance this game, where they were kind of leaning on us a little bit, and I saw guys not blink or waver. I think that's a very important part of NFL football that I'm not sure if we were equipped early in the year to be able to do that. And I think we're running the ball pretty well. I think we started, with our right guard wasn't on our team at the start of the season, and we'd signed Larry out of free agency, and the work they've done and how they've created consistency and a new line of scrimmage versus multiple opponents. I think we're gaining momentum in that regard. So overall, you run the ball well and you don't turn it over. That's a formula that's very successful in the National Football League. So we'll continue to try to do that and earn wins that way, which our team's very fond of. Yes. Because the country is awesome, and I think it's our privilege to play here. It feels as though people are very interested in it, and like I've always said, it's an honor, and you want, my whole life I've been a football coach. I've been fortunate enough to work in the National Football League for 20 years, and I like to see that business succeed. Considering I'm not sure if I'm good at or know how to do anything else, so I think expanding the game is something that I feel very fortunate, and our guys feel very fortunate to be a part of, and is very good for the health of the National Football League. I would say there's a couple things. You have to be game day ready. Just in general, when you're playing on soccer fields for your footing, there's a lot of different ways to adjust, and you have to get comfortable with that, which I thought our guys did a great job, and we minimized any controllables of slipping and whatnot based on their footwear and their focus. And then, I think it's a regular season game that feels, from a media standpoint, it feels similar to the coverage of the Super Bowl. There's a lot of cameras. There's a full auditorium of people at your press conference. And, I think we did a better job articulating that and getting guys prepared for the bells and whistles of the football game so that we could focus on football. And, I felt like guys were much more comfortable in the environment. And, I think we started and stayed consistent throughout the game from an emotional standpoint, which I was very proud of. Thank you.